Now, generally, women should look up to you as the provider, the protector, someone they can admire. In fact,
The emperor, the conqueror.
I jokingly say that if I'm married to a woman and she tells me that she has a mentor somewhere, why can't I be your mentor? Look up to me. Do you understand? No, hold on.
Pause. Listen. I think you are talking like an average Igbo man. Because Igbo men talk this way. Also, when they are toasting, you know the joke they crack. Like, if a man stops you and asks you that, hello baby, what's your name? And you ask him, can I help you? What's the response?
A flower should not dictate to who is plucking it now.
Never really know what's going on.
All right, so ladies, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on the show today. My name is Adefolami Agumbiade. I'm a public health physician, and today we're talking about
why men need to out-earn their girlfriends or potential wife or wife in general.
All right, so you're welcome to Darkpore. It's the podcast that helps people start things, all right, start new careers, start new relationships, and start new families. Today we're discussing the mental health of men, mental health issues of men in Africa rather, okay, and the pressures that the women of today's age put on young men to perform. Okay, in the previous podcast we've heard stories to perform financially. Right, we've heard stories.
Weird man.
You just have to play.
You have to play.
You have to clear. Well, in all categories, but that other performance cannot happen if financially you're handicapped.
Yeah, true.
No.
Although there are some poor broke men in that.
So,
I don't know how they do it, but they just do it.
All right, so today we'll be reviewing an article. Okay, we'll be reviewing an article. The article is by CNBC. It's the title of the article is "Men Get Stressed
When their wives make more money than they do.
Exactly. So that's the article. We'll review the article together.
It was published November 20th, 2019.
It's a 4-year-old article. As always, the gentleman in the line of fire would hear their thoughts about it, and then you guys will be open to rebuttal. If we have enough time, we should have 4 acts. The first act is the review. The second act is we'll ask your opinions. The third act is statistics. Somewhere in the middle, we'll throw an opinion poll, and then the fourth act is the question and answer. Okay, so let's jump right into the article. All right, so the article we're reviewing is an article by CNBC, published in 2019. The author was
Corey Steg.
Okay.
Men get stressed when their wives make more money than they do. The number of women who are primary breadwinners in their families is on the rise. According to 2018 research from the US Census Bureau, in 1 in 4 heterosexual married couples, women make more than their male partners. Okay, next paragraph. But a new study from the University of Bath suggests that the trend is impacting male partners' mental health. The study examined 6,000 American heterosexual married couples over the course of 15 years to see how the shift has impacted people's physical and mental health, life satisfaction, and relationships. They found out that men felt the most anxious when they were the sole breadwinners in the family, and the least stressed when their women were contributing 40% to their household income. But as women made more money past that point, men became increasingly uncomfortable and stressed, according to the findings. The reason? Traditional social gender norms suggest that men should be the breadwinners in relationship.
Okay, so I'll jump right in now. So our panel of strong,
opinionated men,
independent men. What's your take on that? When Nigeria, when Africa, so things are a bit different. But what's your opinion? What's your opinion? Your experience? What are your thoughts on that part of the article? So now it's you guys' turn to talk now. You guys now see how
Actually, I was saying something earlier, which was, trying to point out the fact that men are very demanding of respect, other than, that's the number one thing we want, respect. Most people think love comes first, but that's not true. A man just wants, respect first, then, love could come in later and several other things, but That's number one thing that every guy would always want. And I was trying to check, what the dictionary defines respect as. And it defines respect as a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. So that means that sense of, admiration. Now, deep admiration, respect in this case is that I've seen something that has a potential more than mine, right? And I'm willing to succumb to the abilities of that thing. And the fact that men want this respect whenever they see that their abilities to, create a platform where a woman will succumb to is no longer there. They put those, they begin to feel pressured in a way, because this is something I should be doing. Even from the inception of time, right? It has always been like that. Like, I'm just trying to go, biblical now, right? When, a man was created and a woman was formed out of it. The way it has been, the nature of man accepts that, okay, I am to be the one creating things, not receiving things. So men are basically not usually on the receiving end. And when a man is on the receiving end, it's like you have taken away what would have brought about respect in the first place. And that's why it's always like, a woman will respect you till you stop providing.
Wait, let me. I have to come in here.
Okay.
Right. You just said something, and we can't allow that to just go unchallenged. So, does anybody want to reboot that? Any of the ladies, and then we'll jump back in. He said the woman will respect you until you stop providing.
That's not entirely
I
true.
think that's not the nature of the woman. I believe if you should change your character because of one trait or the other in your relationship, that is not who you are initially. But if it's something inbuilt, like normally I'm not respecting him because he's providing my needs. Like I just see it as a way of life, not because I'm being conformed to.
Let me ask Toby.
Okay.
No, we'll come back to you. He said something now. He said the woman will stop respecting you. The woman will respect you till you stop providing.
I really don't believe that statement, because let's take a look at Nigeria as a case study. In reality, I won't say 50-50, but let's say 40% of the homes in Nigeria, the female are the breadwinners.
Are you serious?
Yes.
We have to challenge that. You can't just drop statistics.
No.
No, if we look
It's
at
not that they are
it,
they contribute significantly. Does not mean they are the breadwinners.
most of them,
Because if a woman just does a very little thing, they'll start jumping around that.
I disagree with that.
I still want to say that
I disagree with
40%
that
women do the most in the
I
house.
actually,
Women do the most in the house,
Okay, so-
and still they still respect their
I would want
husband,
to agree with
and they
her.
still get disrespected on needs.
Doing
Have you
chores-
talked to those people that they are hawking or they are selling on by the roadside? Talk to them and see how life
Have you
is.
talked to bus drivers and people that are like yes, now people are also doing, men are also
I'm
doing
not
very hard
saying
work too.
men are not doing, but I'm saying that I didn't say 60%. I said 40%.
It's not even up to that number.
I think she's right.
From observation, it's not up to that
You
number.
think so?
From observation.
All right, so
what
this
I was-
gentlemen, the good thing about it is this, the internet exists. So let's just Google women-led households in Nigeria. All right, so
percentage, yeah.
would you help us find out the percentage of women-led households in Nigeria? I know that in a study that was done about 20-30 years ago, the number was about 17%. I don't know whether it has risen or it has fallen.
It's men
Also.
and women war. When does it end?
Never
That end, but marriage will never end.
Never end.
According to the World Bank, female-headed households account for just 15% of Nigerian households. Since 1990, the National Population Commission has estimated the fraction of female-headed households is in the range of 15 to 19%. It's not 40%. Okay, so that's like almost like 1 in 6 households are led by the woman. All right, so
But still, women still respect their husband. Most that I've seen houses that the women there are the breadwinner, and they still respect their husband. It's even the husband that disrespects them.
Yes.
I don't think, perhaps it's just on the public.
Because they feel
You don't see,
I
you don't know
feel
what that
it's
man
the
is going
husband,
through.
because the
Guys,
husband, they feel threatened, and they feel that resorting to violence is what to make them.
See, the thing is, I don't want to shift from the fact that, men in their entirety are expected to always provide. Really.
And in cases when they can't.
And in cases when they can't, they at least try as much as possible to. That's when intent comes in. A woman will be willing to stay if she sees intent. That's why I was trying to say that, a woman will respect you to the point where you no longer. I even like when I'm saying something like a woman will stay with you till you cannot provide, is when she will stay with you till she no longer sees intent. you are no longer doing anything. Like you're not even making any move.
Is it that she's
But that's still not entirely true.
Guys, is it that until she no longer sees intent or it's obvious that there is no hope for this guy?
Exactly.
Some women will still stay because they don't have any place to go to.
Trust me, very few.
They don't have any place to go to.
Very few.
Where do you expect a woman with 5 children to go to? Her father's house.
So if you had a place to go to, she would.
Exactly, she would have come.
Most likely.
Guys, okay, so let's come back. So the last paragraph we read was that in generally men feel there are traditional gender norms, okay, that pushes men towards being primary breadwinners. Do we agree with that? Is there generally agreement that in Nigeria is expected? Is expected in Nigeria that the man must be the primary breadwinner of the household?
Yes, there are some places though. No, there are some places though. I know of some places where the women are meant to do the work. The men don't do anything.
Yeah.
Okay, like
I don't want to mention any place, but
in Nigeria,
please mention so that we can debunk it now.
I'm trying to. You don't. It's not even something. I'm trying to remember. Igede. I think there's this set of people. Yes, it's true. In Igede land, the women go to the farm. The women go to do everything.
No,
the men
who
don't do
supply
anything.
the money inside the house?
Nothing. I'm telling you, the husband just wakes up, eats, goes back to bed. When it's evening, they have sex. Next day, everything.
This is my first time of hearing.
No,
Is that actually true?
Till now, or it finds, like I said, I know of a family. My immediate neighbors, they are Igedes. The husband doesn't do jack. The wife wakes up in the morning, takes up the children to school, goes to sell whatever she's selling, and comes back home. The guy is still there, nothing.
All right, so you have said that the Igede people of Benue State, the wife are like primary breadwinners. Did you want to dispute that?
And I can back what he said. I know an Igede family too. Like we grew up together.
Please, you know Adigede girl?
I said I know.
He's asking, do you know an Igede girl?
he needs someone like that. He doesn't want to do any work.
Even if I know, I wouldn't give to you. You should provide for the family, Oji.
All right. Generally, but for most cultures in Nigeria, the assumption is that the men are expected to be the primary breadwinners.
Yes.
Okay, so we do not disagree with this particular. Okay, so let's go on. Let's go on with the article. Okay.
I mean, I've been doing it happily.
Are you serious?
With Jesus' joy.
Speak for yourself.
No.
Even though the tides are turning, many Americans adhere to the deep-rooted unconscious belief that men must be able to provide financially to be a proper provider for their family, explains Fanosh Turabi, financial expert and author, When She Makes More. I think you should go and read that book.
I think I have to go and get it.
If you are not fulfilling that expectation, it has the potential to damage your self-esteem and self-worth, she told CNBC Make It. Other research suggests that masculinity norms discourage men from being vulnerable, which can further get in the way of their ability to seek mental health support.
Okay, so let me pause right now. I asked you much earlier in the previous podcast, we asked women that, would you be transparent with your men if you earn more? And everybody said that they would. Somebody said partially transparent. Now, let me ask the men right now. Would you be transparent with your significant other, your wives, if things became difficult and you could not foot the bills for the household?
Don't do it.
Never.
Let him talk.
No, let them talk. Gentlemen, ladies, you had your
Don't do it.
I need all this to sit
Yeah? Don't do it.
Okay, so you wouldn't be transparent.
It's a golden rule.
Well, another thing is, my opinion is that you should just be transparent.
Exactly.
And why I'm saying that is because if you're not transparent, it's just a matter of time to show that you do not have the capacity to
My
fulfill those
brother.
needs.
Even if you are
It is
transparent,
actually
somebody
relative. See, to be honest, this thing is relative. This guy will say, a lady must never see you cry. A lady must never see you show any sign of weakness. No, it's the truth. If a lady should see you display any sign of weakness,
that's different.
now
from-
one of the scenario now is that you probably lost your job or you got a pay cut at work and it's going to affect significantly your abilities as a man. Trust me, the last thing you want to do is to just, I'm not saying you should not be open that. Now it now boils down to what type of woman are you married to?
Thank you.
You understand?
No,
If she's
let's
understand-
all things being equal, average woman.
all things being equal,
Yeah,
I
average
will tell
woman.
you, all things being equal, showing a woman your weakness doesn't always play out well.
Where I think where I would disagree with you
Vice
is that
versa.
It does
Showing a
not-
man your weakness doesn't play
why
well.
I would disagree
Sorry,
with
sorry,
you,
don't-
like I said, it's just a matter of time. The person finds out that you actually cannot provide. It's very, should I say, dangerous when people expect from you
Oh, you can't.
and you can't. It's better the person knows that
Nothing is coming from this person. That is for the person to expect a lot of things.
Men will always
actually
find a
painful.
way.
Or the problem is that, do you know what?
Men
Men will always
Men
find a
will
way. What
always
if they
find
don't
a
find
way.
the way?
You talk to
It
yourself.
won't get to that point.
The stuff is that the day you lose your job, like Chris Brown or Chris Goes, the day you lose your job, you start losing that woman. It's just, if you like, believe it. If you like,
Everyone.
Not
I want to agree to that.
Hold on, please. I'm saying the average woman. Of course, it can't be everybody. It can't be
Okay.
100%. I'm saying the average woman. The day you lose your job, you start losing the woman. Now, if you are saying the men should not be, of course, they will be stressed now. Why will you? I've been advocating since the beginning of this show and all that you shouldn't marry someone that's earning higher than you. Now, generally, women should look up to you as the provider, the protector, someone they can admire. In fact,
the emperor, the conqueror.
I jokingly Now I jokingly say that if I'm married to a woman and she's telling me that she has a mentor somewhere, why can't I be your mentor? Look up to me. Do you understand? No, hold on.
Pause. Listen. I think you are talking like an average Igbo man. His name is Wait. You go ahead, but I have to say something, all right? Because Igbo men talk this way. Also, when they are toasting, you know the joke they crack. Like, if a man stops you and asks you that, he asks you that, hello, baby, what's your name? And you ask him, can I help you? What's the response?
I think I should be able to help.
A flower should not dictate to who is plucking it now.
So I think that typical.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it. Like, I've been saying that as a man, I'm not married. But even while dating all that, you should be 10 steps ahead of your girl or ahead of your woman and all that. She should look up to you at every point in time. You know that she feels that.
Let's see Alpha and Omega.
Shit happens.
See,
Why should I always look up to
I
you?
know shit happen. If shit happen, pack your shit and fix it. Yes, now you can't. No, oh, that's why you are the man. You can't.
Yes.
Okay, you are the girl, you are the woman.
Oji, when we get back to our Q&A session, we'll give you enough time. Let's
Get a wise view.
we'll take a wise view. We'll take Imadi's view. But before he speaks, I need to say something. This is the reason why you have to have conversation. Okay. Because a lot of times, you don't hear this view until you are married.
Yeah.
See the way you're opening your mouth. But imagine you are married and you now first start hearing this view. Do you understand? So it's important to have these kind of conversations. All right. So we'll take Imadi and then we'll take a wise view and we'll come back to the video article we're reviewing.
Okay.
Can you make it in 2 minutes, sir?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I feel I'm not going to agree to what he actually said, though, because the family I grew up with, my dad happens to work then in Julius Berger. My mom happens to be a policewoman. So at some point, he was earning, as of then, that was 2001, he was earning like 70-something K. Mom was earning 20-something thousand. So things changed. They increased the police fee. So reverse was the case. Dad lost his job 2008. From 2008 till this present time, 4 children, she took care of everybody, including the man. There was no single disrespect from her.
What are you not talking about?
Are you getting what I'm trying to say? What me I'm trying to say in essence is, if you get the right woman, be plain to her, be transparent.
So be a right woman about the average woman.
Talk about the average woman.
Okay, so your mom is. So you guys have alternate views and all that. Your mom is okay. So let me up the stakes a bit, because you're speaking about your parents and they've been married and they had 4 kids. So now this is the question. Your wedding is planned a year from now. All right? You lose your job. What's your play?
I'm going to pause the wedding.
I'll do what?
Postpone the wedding to next year now. Now, if you want to not enter, not get the job.
I will never bring a woman into a wedding.
I would agree with Oji.
Now, you can't. Baba, I'm pausing that wedding. No matter how pressure, let the guys go and wait. Because see, and the funniest thing is that if I tell the woman that this is how most ladies I've been quite a few. Now if I tell her that okay, you lost your job, that blah blah, she tell you let's go ahead, can fix it. But don't go ahead though. You have to pause, because once you enter, it's possible that the girl is having, women have this wedding feeling that let me just get mine. By the time the wedding clears for my eyes, you see the real marriage, the real stuff. So why will you enter like Dr. I've said one time that the marriage becomes like a company. It needs fund. Just imagine I've lost my job. Then after the honeymoon, she's going to work. I'm sitting at home.
I actually have two views.
No matter how tolerant she be.
I have two views to this. It still boils down to the woman. You know, women are a blessing. Sometimes. No, Oji,
I have my mom, she's not blessing for me.
Oji, no. Let's be very factual here.
Guys.
Women are blessings. That's what I'm saying. It totally depends on the type of woman. If she's not the understanding type, you know her when you were dating her, please don't go ahead. Because if you should go ahead, you're shooting yourself in the leg. And it's just a matter of like a ticking time bomb.
Even if she understands you.
Guys.
I dated this person for over 6 months. I've been with this person for over 6 months. I am.
There are certain essential things that you would know.
You should
that
know.
the person
I want to
would
get
show.
married to you. I proposed to you. I would have certainly known one or two things about you. I'm not just going to propose to anybody on the street.
We'll come back. We're having these pockets of conversation because the issues that we need to bring up, usually it comes up like this. So let's go back to the article.
Okay. Money adds a layer of complexity because it's a stressful topic that's riddled with emotion, especially within the context of a relationship, Turabi says. When women are breadwinners, couples have a hard time discussing any confusing emotions that may arise. Turabi says, it's deeply unsettling for some couples, especially if they've been raised and conditioned to believe that men should dutifully make more than their wives.
Please, let's just pause here. Okay, so she's saying, in this particular article now, they're saying that when money becomes hard, it adds complexity to the relationship. So let me ask you this now. And you ladies, please, let's be as honest as possible. How many of us here have been raised to believe that your husband must out-earn you? How many of you believe that the husband must out-earn the wife? Let's first start by that. By show of hands, how many people we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You see? Or should? You see?
Should.
Must or should?
Did she raise up her hand? Okay, so how many people believe that the husband must not out-earn the wife? Must means that it's a requirement. Okay. So you're sitting on the fence.
Okay, wait. If I get you right,
Must not. That means
Like it must not end.
That means that the husband needs to out-earn his wife. Needs.
Like,
it's a necessity.
Have more than yes.
He must earn more. He must have more income.
You.
So you get okay. So fine. So now in this particular situation, now this is the question. This is the question to ladies. If you find yourself, because based on this article now, if you find yourself in a marital relationship, which maybe for some reason, the same way Imade mentioned in the previous podcast, that if the woman, he mentioned that he suffered, or he experienced rather, a series of financial setbacks.
Yeah.
And then in both cases, what happened?
They fled.
And the women that fled, they were not as understanding as your mom.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? I came this full circle. The one that was understanding as your mom, they didn't stay. So if you know that the woman may flee, and if you know, if the woman holds the view that the husband must out-earn her, would you still disagree with the need for transparency when they're experiencing difficult times? Yeah, that's the question I'm trying to.
Yes.
Okay, it's a bit complicated. Much earlier, we spoke about the fact that if you are going through difficult times, Udi was of the opinion that you should tell your wife you're going through hard times.
Yes.
Okay, now you are saying that it's necessary for the man to out-earn the woman. In the same vein, we've had two experiences. In the previous podcast, Imade mentioned that he was in previous relationships, and the two times that he experienced financial difficulty or decline, the two women who are aware of it left. So, in the face of that now, all right, would you take the chance of telling? Would you advise them to tell?
Next time, will you tell
Me personally, I'll still want my man to tell me if he's going
so
through
that
difficulty.
you can leave.
Let me know. No, not like so that I can leave.
No, it's not.
See, my thing is that if it's a marriage, I can't say because my man is going through financial difficulties, I would leave. Like, just tell me. Let me know what I'm getting into. Let me know what is it.
What
so
you're
that
already
I'll
in
not
inside. What you're already in.
as in at that moment, at that point, is another thing I want to get into. I've always experienced soft life with you. You've always provided everything I need for me. Now is my turn to do it. Let me prepare myself. Of course, my income, I'll have to cut some expenses down. Just let me know. And it can't be like that forever, but at least for the period of time where I'll be providing, let me know.
I strongly want to say that the guy just find a way to construct it towards the wife. No, don't come out plain. Ask me.
Plain or no plain, just let me know that babe.
I can just tell you.
Don't let her know.
I had the responsibility. You can just say, babe, for now you have to be the one to pay the children's school fees for this time.
The company is on board.
They are my children too. I would pay it.
I feel if she's
I
your
would
wife,
pay
you
it.
should just
The house, I'm living there too. I don't know. I've seen things played out between my parents. I'm in. That's right. The other time when we were talking about 50-50. I don't care who is anymore. If you agree on 50-50, whatever amount is all of your business. As far as I've dropped my 50%,
you agree on
you to drop your.
50-50.
If case comes to that place, I would. Don't care about the extra that we have left. I don't care about the extra you have left.
A lot of people say the marriage vows, especially women. A lot of women say the marriage vow for better, for worse, for richer, for poor. But most of them only mean for better, for better.
For richer. Yeah,
that's the truth. Most women mean for better, for better. And it doesn't mean all women do that. That means there's always an exception to this. That's why we have been pointing out some of our super moms that are doing well, even without the fathers being able to, provide.
I think I should.
In all the, so there will always be that woman. That's why they say marry who you have prayed about, or marry who you are sure. You can't just marry any woman and expect her to,
I don't feel this
Guys, I'm going to rein it in now. All right, we're bringing up several things. We can't attend to all of them. Okay. So you want to rebuild something?
No, I.
Okay, so she will rebuild. She has something to say. Let's hear.
I think she has something to say.
What I have to say, I'm
You have
directing
2 minutes.
Yeah, that's not. What I'm about to say, I'm directing it straight to Oji. You can't be with somebody you don't trust. You can't be with somebody that you can't talk to about certain life, like real life things that are going on. Because I see no reason why you be married to somebody, the mother of your children, somebody that you can trust to have your children, to bring another person, be people into the world for you, and then you're going through financial things, but then you prefer to put your pride and your ego above it, and you cannot be like, okay, take for instance now, even if you're earning higher than your... Okay, now, you're earning 800K, your wife is earning 400K. At every end of the month, probably you put her, you give her money, all those things. You don't ask her for her own money, and this is your wife that is used to buying Gucci and buying other things. So now you're going through financial issues, and you want to tell me that you won't be able to tell her for her to cut down on her expenses and take care of a household that the both of you, or rather a home rather, that the both of you are trying to build.
You are saying it.
Is that what you're telling me?
It's not easy now.
It's
Someone that
easy.
is.
All right. I was specific.
Who do you plan to get married to?
Job. Hold on. That was too much. I was specific. If you lose, I was specific. Don't.
So when you lose, if you lose your job now in a marriage and
wife.
you don't get another job, say take for instance in the next 2 years, how do you want to maintain that?
Let me flip it to you so you understand. If I'm a man, I get married to you, and in 2 years you are losing shape, you are getting fat. Hold on now, because you think.
Go ahead. We are not.
I don't blame. See, if a man is broke and all that, I don't blame ladies who leave them. Yeah, because I feel that. In fact, you are broke, you are dating. What's wrong with you? You understand? Now, I don't feel... Now, I feel that the man should provide everything. Now, chill. I was saying that if I get married to you, and in 1 year, 2 years, you are adding weight, you are... Like, suppose it's 10 years, I don't understand that. But 1 year, 2 years, you're already doing... all the beauty is gone. You are looking at my income. I'm looking at your beauty. If I beauty or not. Yes, if all your beauty go, and I go outside and I see... hold on. I know you trust me enough. You understand? But, like we normally say, trust is two things, honesty and capacity. And I see a very odd, slim, and I ask the child. I'm not saying. Now, to test my question is that when the man loses his job, the woman feels, I think I'm going. There's that break. The same way, if the woman loses her beauty, now, why is it that old men, 40, 50, they don't use their wife as their screensaver?
We'll come back at the Q&A. We're raising all these issues. When we get to Q&A, when you get Q&A, we'll give everybody opportunity to debate.
I'm telling you the truth.
So you were supposed to, you had something you wanted to.
Okay.
Can you do 2 minutes? Yeah.
Okay. I'll just go direct. It happens practically in each and every relationship of ours. If you be blunt enough, you can't date a broke guy now. Will you?
course
You won't now. So now,
I've
okay.
dated a guy that didn't give me money before. I
Did
didn't.
you have options of other men that only
Yes, I did.
Wait, the guy you dated, are you with him now?
No.
And so that proves the point.
that proves the point.
No, that's not the reason why we
What
broke
if
up.
she- what
In
if-
case you want to know the
exactly.
reason why we broke up,
I
it
don't want
was
to-
not
I don't want
that
to
I
know.
was in the car with him, seated beside me, and he had the audacity to take phone to be calling another person. And he
that
ended the call
was
with,
the guy broke?
I love you too.
A broke guy.
He was
sitting
not
again.
broke. He had the money, but he never
so-
spent on me. Don't
Guys,
misquote
guys,
me.
alright.
I was not
Guys,
with him because he had the money. I said I knew he had the money,
He was not
but he
broke
never
now.
spent on me.
He was
And I
not
didn't
broke.
bother about it.
He was not
And you
broke.
said that it's because of the money, because he didn't spend on me. And I said that's not the reason. It's the fact that I found out that he was cheating. Like, what audacity do you have to be receiving a call before me? I'm telling a girl beside me again that I love you too while I'm sitting right beside you inside the car. Obviously, you are just using me.
All right.
That's the reason
Okay,
why.
so
I've been with like people like that.
So the issue you raised is about men being broke. And your guy was not broke.
Yeah.
Your guy was just
Exactly.
To you.
Can you wrap up whatever so I can go to the next person? I'll come to you. Otherwise, guys, you have to keep your emotions.
Fast forward,
I'll
but
repeat this stuff again. If you go and watch previous podcast, if you don't man up, you won't make it to the end of the show. Okay? So
Fast forward like 30 years, you get married to the guy. You have not been comfortable dating a guy that is not constantly providing for you. No, how do you now want to? You that have been constantly complaining that my boyfriend don't do this, he doesn't do this. Now, when you get to the marriage, how will you cope when he loses his job? You can't. Let's just be factual. And
so that's his own opinion. You wanted to.
And okay.
Okay.
This one of my husband loses his job. I've seen plain sight. My dad didn't lose his job, and he was a superhero too.
Bravo.
So
Cheers to him.
I've seen women, maybe walking on the street, lock their husband.
Yes, it's happening.
Oh, tí fún mi lówó oúnjẹ, oh, le lo.
Of
I'm like,
course,
yes, you have
always.
not paid.
Can you translate
Okay,
to
you have not paid my bills for today. You can't just stroll out. Let's just come out straight. These things don't work. You're okay. Now I think I'm back. Okay, you said your husband is earning 800K and you earning 400K. Now he lost his job. You have been living a life of lavish. He doesn't bother you about your salary. Now he's having a setback. Now it's not easy now. Yes, now it's not easy to start providing. Okay, I wasn't using my money to provide for the family, and things went south, and he's calling me to action. You would refute, or you would, in short, it will. You guys are going to argue. Seriously, you are going to.
No. There's no point.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You are going to argue seriously, and you can even go there and tell him that, Baba, go and find your job, because you are enjoying your money now. He's not asking you for the money. Now it's time for you to be responsible. You would normally, nature demands that you don't want to, because you are enjoying your money. Am I lying? Talking now.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, I think
the thing is.
So what I'm saying in essence is that you might later come in agreement with him that, okay, he has not been disturbing me. After maybe like 2 weeks of constant argument, you have children, your children will suffer.
2 weeks,
So
okay.
exactly, or maybe months per se, but you still come to, because you consider, you go back and forth
And women
about it.
don't enable laziness. Like, I wanted to say something. You are providing for a guy for 5 years. I mean, after first year, you are still providing. What the hell are you still doing there? You are enabling the man. After 1 year, I will say it anyway. You are dating somebody and you are providing, you as a lady. After 1 year, you are still doing 2 years.
By default, the guy should.
By 1 year, one is not leave him. Yes,
No,
now.
don't
You cannot-
leave him.
It's not provide. I never said providing of me feeding him, clothing
You are
him.
footing the bills. Now, what are you saying?
I only said I help him many a time. Whenever I need something, he calls me and stuff like that. I never said I was
Most
feeding him.
times she's always giving. That's what she's trying to say.
Okay.
Never most I
But
most
then-
time give.
So it's not as if you are the bread. Let us as in bread.
Let's say that breadwinner.
Okay, you would react. There's a Q&A session. You would have react. So, all right. So let's just finish the article so we can go into the.
The only way to get through this pain is to talk about it with your partner. Turabi says, allow yourselves to be vulnerable, she adds. There are, however, practical strategies that can be helpful for couples grappling with this imbalance. Finding ways to level the financial playing field so that each person can feel financially valuable in the relationship, regardless of what they earn, is key. Turabi says, the husband can contribute to things like college funds or vacation, for example, if the wife is covering most of the daily costs. Or if the male spouse is having a hard time defining his role as a provider, Then they have a discussion around some major aspects of your life together that he can own and manage. She should suggest like caring for the kids or cooking, because other research shows that when women make more money, they also take on more household responsibilities. Above all, these findings are a good opportunity for couples to ask for what they need to help balance the load, at least for the next 100 years as we take to close the pay gap.
All right, so let's just, the settlement of a pay gap there, that has been debunked, but there's a statement that I want to ask, and so that we can move into the other part of the show. You mentioned in there that the more women earn, the more household responsibility they take on. Is that true? I mean, in case in Nigeria, do we have anybody that can provide us with
more women?
I think the more what?
The more women.
household
I
responsibility?
think
Yes.
to some extent, yeah,
Yes.
it's true.
At
The more
least
household responsibility
can
they
I
take on.
react to?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let me use my family as an example.
Your
My
family
dad-
or your dad's family?
It's still my family. I'm not married here.
Okay.
So my dad retired as he was into education, so he retired after 35 years in service. So 2-3 years after his retirement, he was not doing anything. We were still trying to, the ones that want to gain admission, the ones that stay in secondary school, writing WAEC and all that. So it was a bit difficult for us to, times where we would not have anything in the house. But then, on the other hand, my mom was always into giving us things, even when we don't even need it. Like, so to say, like, sometimes daddy will tell us that, hey, you need kidney, you don't need this thing, so don't waste money on it. But my mom will still go and say, no, let me just, sometimes she will even give us behind her dad. Like, my dad may not really know about it. So now, let me now just cut the long story. Along the line, my mom was able to do a lot of things, even while my dad was not receiving shisha. So it's something practical that things like that happen.
Yeah,
So even till date, if I need anything, I can still lean on my mom, because we're used to, mommy, I want to buy this, mommy, I want this, I want that. But now he has received his pension, gratuity and all that, so things are okay. But that space, I didn't see my mom to some extent. Of course, there are going to be loopholes, but I didn't see my mom, throw punches and all that.
And how many of such happen? How
Because she's
many?
trying to,
Let me.
I was in Laspotech
And
before
then-
I graduated, and my sister was in a private school, secondary school. My other sister was at Mapuli, I think, Ilaro, and she was staying in a self-con, and my mom was in charge.
All right, the story you've told us now, you told us that your father retired. So obviously, that's a different story.
That's a different story.
Okay, retirement means that you have to plan. The man has been. In this particular case now, do we have, is there anybody here with experience dating? Have you ever dated someone who out-earned you? And what was your experience? Do we have any of the men here? Is there anybody here? We've already confirmed Oji's position on this matter. Is there anybody who has dated anyone who out-earns them?
Or you have toasted them.
The guys.
So nobody has dated anybody who
It
out-earned
happened to
them?
me.
it's
I
the
wish I
guys
think
that
I've explained that to you.
Just if you, I think I did.
And now they
Well,
Are you comfortable with the story?
yes, to some extent.
Because you look like you still feel pained.
Yeah, sorry
It
about that.
happened very, very long time ago. So
It's not really painful.
Okay.
Who broke up? You or she?
she broke up now.
Of course, she will.
As broke now.
She broke up, a little contention.
No, although it was my fault.
Wait, excuse me.
But she broke up.
Sorry, she was earning. Not that her parents had money, not more than her family had money than her family. Like she was earning. No, now you have to clarify. If she's from a good background,
Okay,
that was
she
different.
was from a. Okay, sir, let me get you. Is she earning or she was from a rich
Earning.
background? No.
But she was from a rich background.
Yeah.
But then obviously,
Heavy.
that's where she has a source of income.
Okay, has anybody dated and somebody who from a wealthy background who broke up with you because? All right, so okay, have you? Okay, so it seems as if I think we now have come to conclude that in Nigeria, most women do not date men that they out-earn.
Come.
Concluded. Because what we have said right now is that almost all the men seated here have always dated women who earn less than them.
Yeah.
And all the women here, nobody can tell me that they have dated a guy who they out-earn. Is there anybody?
Happy doing it.
Nobody.
I thought we've stopped.
Not that you're
No.
They're
That one was different.
Dating somebody that I'm earning more than the person.
Yes.
You are receiving money. That was our story.
I am.
Yeah, but the guy you were both in school now.
We are both in school.
No, when I was done with school now,
Okay, so what this is
I was
doing
earning
his PhD
45. It was earning 20,000.
but in that particular the guy was earning 20,000 a month.
Yes, I was earning 45
When was this?
around 2019 during my service. Because I was working.
That guy shouldn't have.
Alawi, yeah. They use Alawi, they compensate.
No, man, I was
Wahala,
separate money. I was working, I was teaching, I was earning 45,000 naira. It was earning
Plus the
20.
Alawi,
Yes.
So you were earning 78k and the guy was earning 20k.
Yes.
Okay, but even the guy with 20k,
guy
the
did not
guy could
finish
not.
school
He
now.
can't keep himself going with 20 grand.
I mean, how would you
So
So do you I have a question, sir.
He
So
has
do you
issues,
say
that's
because
why.
he's earning 20k, he shouldn't get married or what?
I think you get
Or you go into a relationship?
Mr. Get married to your level.
Yeah, about the transparency thingy, that's what I was going to like.
Okay, you were saying something, sir.
Yeah, do you say that someone earning 20,000 naira shouldn't go into a relationship or get married?
You should not date.
Relationship is expensive.
Okay, so you asked me a question. You said,
Yes,
am I
sir.
saying that if anybody who is earning 20,000, a man that is earning 20,000 naira, am I saying that the person should not date?
She has the response. She has the response.
So let me ask you, ladies, by show of hands, how many of you think that a man earning 20,000 naira should date?
He's working.
He's working now. You find your man.
Wait.
You find your family.
By show of hands, how many of you feel that a guy earning 20k should date?
Sir, I want to. I
I have a reason.
It's not the end of the world.
Guys, by show of hands, how many people feel that a man earning 20,000 should date? One. Okay. How many people? You are still doing the side talk. Okay. How many people feel that a guy earning 20,000 naira should date them?
them.
You can always earn more. You can't be in one.
I cannot pretend. I cannot lie. He cannot reach anywhere. He has his family. He will take care of his family. Before you remember me,
He's not
his
even taking care of
girlfriend.
his family.
I don't want to know. Before you remember me, his girlfriend is like 20,000 naira. Is he walking to his office?
You have to remember me. Before I dated you, I know what you are going through.
So you will, Abi.
Yes.
If you are earning 20k, there's always a girl earning 30k.
Okay, so
And
let's.
still with her.
So guys.
Earning 30K.
Oji. Okay, you wanted to pitch in.
Now, this question you asked about if the guy is earning 20k like dating, like Grace said, I think you're putting us in a box because if a guy is earning, I don't think there is any reasonable guy that would be earning 20k that wants to be on that same level in 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm not putting you in a box.
Are you serious?
He put a question at me.
No, that's why I said a
Their
sensible
reactions to it.
person.
What are my
I can't
reactions?
just. I mean, their reactions. I mean, their words to it. It's not like just full stop. There's a comma.
Yes, like if you're earning 20k at this point, if I decide to be with somebody that's earning 20k at this point, there are certain things I would like to put into consideration. What are your plans? Like, what?
He doesn't have any plans.
At times, he has another bump.
Mr. Amadi.
Is there anybody that earns 20k in a month now?
Yes, so there is many.
We're here because we want to give people solutions. Okay? We want to give you practical solutions that they can work with. Okay? And a lot of times, some of the things you hear, you won't like them. Okay? But whatever it is that you plan on has to be grounded in reality. Are you with me? It has to be grounded in reality. For most of us here, we are privileged. And if we don't accept that, most of us are privileged in the sense that we can spend, today is Easter Day, 2023. We can spend Easter Day at a podcast. There are some people who cannot afford to take a day off of work because they have to consider the 500 naira that they will earn for that day. Okay, so So on the basis of that, thank you very much for being a part of this show.